Hey everybody, this is Eric Porter, and welcome to Let's Jam. I think this is episode 5, so we're moving along. I'd like to welcome Mr. Pardo to the cast, and Chris is back from the Almond Bets tour. So we've got Chris back in the house. So I'm sure we're going to have some stories down the road from that tour. I know Pete did the concert review, and yeah, Chris, we got to get you on just to kind of talk about the tour. So we'll get to that. But first, I've got some new releases, got some exciting news. My boys, Squeaky Feet, just released a new tune today. Yes, we're very excited. That song is called The Irish Goodbye or Irish Goodbye. And this is their new album is coming out in October. And I think it's Override Effect is the name of it. So I'm very excited about that. I may be having the boys on at some point. I'm in talks with them, so hopefully we can get them on the show. Humphreys McGee band I saw this weekend at Lake George, the Rock the Dock Festival. Check out my review. They have a new one out or coming out called Blueprints. Very interesting concept where obviously this is jam band, and apparently the audience has picked certain jams that they've done, and they've taken those jams and now they're turning them into tunes. So that's going to be that next release. I think that's a September release. We've got the Marcus King Band. They've got something coming in December. Yep, hot player. So we love Marcus. They'll be having that. Like I said, I believe that's a September release. And finally, Lettuce, who I also saw in June at the Saratoga Jazz Festival. They have a new album coming out called Cook, and that will be, I believe, December. This I just saw this today, so I wanted to get it on there. So those are the new releases. I'm sure we'll have more to come. And Chris, welcome back. Welcome back from the tour. And
Right on.
we're going to hit the 70s. We're going deeper into the 70s this time, right?
Yeah, it's like 73 to 76
Awesome.
approximately, since we
Okay.
broke it up into two. But I'm also going to cover a little bit of the 60s, how we actually sold our how we actually went to rock concerts and found out how they were advertised and how we bought tickets because there was no internet, there was no online,
Indeed.
back then. I mean, we're talking 50 years ago. So, how did you do it? Well, I have a little history on that too. So I'm going to try to get this slideshow together. You
All
guys
right.
ready?
I'm sure
Yeah.
Pete and we remember standing in line waiting for tickets, right?
Ticketron, man, I'm
That's right.
telling you. Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
Be out
that's
there
going to
on a
be in
Saturday
there.
morning, freezing, waiting for your tickets.
Yeah. The Rolling Stones came to Winterland, Ticketron. First time I ever bought a ticket there. And actually, there at 7 in the morning at the day, and the guy opens the door, and we all ran up the escalator and like piled in this office. And I was like the fifth guy around the corner, and I ended up like getting ticket number 12.
Nice.
I was the 12th ticket holder. And after about eight more after me, it was sold out. Boom, done. You get four tickets each. This was for each
And it
day.
always sucked if you were there waiting for hours and hours, and
Yes.
that's what wound
Oh
up
yeah, I had to
happening.
cut school and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And Chris,
So
you probably remember the days too where you had to do like some sort of like a mail-in thing, right? You had to mail like a self-addressed stamped envelope to be able to get on like some sort of a list to get tickets. I remember like Zeppelin and the Dead did that for a while, like during the mid late 70s, before I started going. But yeah, that was pretty big for me.
uh I was in with the dad, so I was just thinking about this. I haven't bought a ticket to a rock concert in like 30 years.
Oh
And
my
I've been to
God.
Not
hundreds,
bad. Not bad.
so it's like I think the last time I was thinking about this, I went and saw King Crimson with a trio, the double
A
trio.
double
Trio.
trio, yeah.
Yep.
I actually bought a ticket to that concert in like 70, whatever, 97 or something, and I think that was the last time I bought a ticket to a concert. I just I go for free because I'm in the business.
Nothing wrong
I
with it.
just
It's a good
know
deal.
everybody, and I work all the shows too. I was the lighting guy and everything. All right. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of a cool story too. So the more you think about it, it's just pretty crazy. So should we go to the slideshow?
Let's do it.
Sure.
I'm a little nervous on this, but let's see if I can get it to work. Okay, so maybe I'm going to hit share screen first.
He's nervous, the guy who does all this amazing stuff on
Right.
I'm
stage.
going to hit
Exactly.
share screen. Okay, so share? What are you guys seeing?
It looks like it's
We got
coming.
it. Something's up. Like,
Okay, now I'm going to go to the slideshow and I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, which is going to be, let me get here, let me get the opener on this particular show here. Let's get here. Here it is. So, didn't show up, did it? Okay, let's try that. There we go. Can you see it?
we
Yep.
got it.
Okay. So here's the show. Jam Band History, Episode 3, Part 3, 1973 to 1976. So these are the artists we're going to be featuring on this one right here. Okay, Frank Zappa, Jeff Beck, Todd Rundgren, The Grateful Dead, Little Feat, and Neil Schon from Journey. Okay, you guys can hear me, right?
Absolutely.
I can't see you. I'm not seeing you. So, okay, so here we go. The next one. Uh, So this is the room in the Fillmore. Now today it's full of posters and it wraps around the whole upper part of the Fillmore, thousands of posters. And so if you look at this Country Joe, Led Zeppelin on the left, that was a full-size poster, like 18 by 24 or whatever. Then they'd give a little handbill, like the one next to it, and then the ticket would be printed below it, and the ticket is $3, you can see. Or the other Led Zeppelin, you can see the 3 tickets printed below.
Yeah.
So Bill Graham, it's called a cut sheet. They would make the giant poster, the flyers, and the tickets, and then they'd cut them all up, and that's how you got your tickets back then. There was no Ticketron. Now, if you look at the back of the flyer, you can read like Grateful Dead, Blood, Sweat, and Tears on January 2nd and 3rd. And then the next week is Led Zeppelin with Country Joe and the Fish and Taj Mahal, right? Well, if you went to that Dead show, when you walked out, they would hand you that poster, the full-size poster for the next week. So that's what Bill Graham did.
So they wanted to
So
make
that's
sure you came back the following week and you had that physical something to take home to remind you of it.
exactly. And then the little flyers would have that printed on the back, telling you all the shows. Like, look at the shows; they're incredible. Grateful Dead, Zeppelin, Creedence Clearwater with Fleetwood Mac, Iron Butterfly, and this other one has got Crosby, Stills, Nash, the Kinks, Santana, and the Rolling Stones. So you're advertising for the following week, you know, or following weeks. So, I mean, wouldn't you want to go to any of those shows? The Kinks,
I mean, look
Crosby.
at that December 4th through 7th. You got Santana the Flock featuring Jerry Goodman,
Yep.
soon to be from Mahavishnu Orchestra, and Humble Pie. I mean, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. So
Jethro
that's why I
Tull.
wanted to do this section to see these shows that we used to go to. And there's going to be on the next page even better ones. Okay, here we go. So that's the 60s. Okay, so now we're going to hit the 70s. So we got Jimi Hendrix on the left there for $3. We got Grateful Dead and Miles Davis for $3 on Sunday. Okay. Now the other one, The Who. Okay, I went to that show. It's Who in 1971.
Wow.
350, 450, 550, and 650. I think I had 450. But you're a kid in high school, you save three lunch money, your lunch money, and you can go see The Who, you know.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't work
then
that way anymore.
yeah.
No, no.
Okay, then here's the Allman Brothers. That's the actual ticket of the show I went to on the October 8th with Dwayne Allman. And but the Rolling Stones, so they go on sale 72 now at Exile on Main Street, and you can see that the advertised for it at Winterland on January 6th, January 8th. The tickets are $5.50 service charge for Ticketron, and there is the ticket. So that was the first Ticketron ticket I bought. So
Wow.
anyway, okay, now I'm moving on quick here. So then I moved to Lake Tahoe, and we would get the Sunday paper, Examiner Chronicle, and they have a huge entertainment section, arts and entertainment. It was called the Pink section, and is that pink where you see Electric Light Orchestra, Little
Yep.
Feat,
Little feet.
Yep.
and that's in Sacramento, Winterland, and San Jose. Well, I went to the Sacramento show, and that was both those bands in their heyday. It was incredible. And here's the other great show. Look at this one. Montrose, Journey, and UFO. Can you
That's
imagine that all in one night?
Oh, I thought you
that's
were going to say Kiss in the Tubes.
Well,
Just
Kiss the Tubes and Rush.
there you go. I
Look at
didn't see
that.
Rush. That's right.
How
Okay.
about Kiss and Slade? Slade did not come over here all that often.
No.
And Point Blank, a very cool Southern rock band from Texas. Wow,
And another show I went to was REO Speedwagon Rainbow. Dio and
Cozy Powell.
Blackmore.
Okay.
And then at the bottom of this is Frank Zappa. Can you guys see that? Because I'm covering it up on my end.
Yeah, I don't see it on
I don't
mine.
see the Zappa.
Yeah,
Zappa was on the very bottom,
on the bottom
maybe.
of that. Okay, under Grateful Dead.
No, to the right. Anyway,
Okay.
uh, with the Stevie Winwood America, you don't see all that?
Yeah, I do. Yes. Yeah.
That one I
Okay.
see. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Zappa was on the bottom. Okay. So now let's go into Zappa. And these are the two albums that I want you guys to talk about. And here we go. Frank Zappa. And he was like fusion, jazz, rock, and kind of like almost comedy, or satire, which made his songs memorable. So you guys want to talk about these albums? Because
Yeah, well, I mean, Pete, I want to let you go, but I actually picked up the Roxy box set a while ago. I mean, it's just incredible. And you're talking about, kind of his, like you said, his fusion period. I mean, you've got George Duke, right? Chester Thompson, the Fowler brothers. I love
Ruth
Tom
Underwood,
Fowler,
Ruth Underwood,
Ruth
Napoleon Perfect
Underwood.
Rock. Yeah, I mean, it's just this to me is his greatest couple of years, and one of the greatest bands of all time. And it defies categorization, right? It's fusion, it's rock, it's pop, it's doo-wop, it's a little bit of satire, it's hard
Even the
rock.
bluesy stuff, right? I
There's
mean, you
blues in
forget.
it too. Yeah, I
Yep,
mean it's a little bit of everything. There's progressive rock in it. It's just and like something like the Roxy set, and especially if you have the box set that Eric just held up, you get like the whole weekend's worth of recordings,
yeah,
and like they take like 3 and 4 minute long studio tracks and they turn them into like 15-minute long jams, but there's a lot more than just jamming going on. There's a lot of back and forth with the audience, right? It's just crazy, crazy stuff, but so good. I mean, this is a great period in the history of Frank Zappa, I think.
agreed.
One of his best.
okay, should we move on to the next one? You
Yeah,
guys good on that? I want to mention that Fish, I think, is really a jam band of today, is really inspired by Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
yeah, with definitely with the lyrics and the, you know, because they do use the silliness or the satire like he did, and I'll actually be seeing them a week from Friday.
Okay, let's go to the next page here. Let's see. Just lost my. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now Jeff Beck took a turn into fusion
Yep.
with Blow by Blow, and I went and saw him with Argent, which is the guy who wrote some of the stuff for Blackmore. Um, and so then he was to me he was the rock guitar player that switched over, you know. And then we got Lowell George, who was used to play with Frank Zappa and then
Yep.
created his own band, Little Feat. Now they're kind of a Zydeco, weird, Southern rock, but I think they're a jam band. What do you guys think?
I would agree, but like a different kind of jam band. They're it's I always call them kind of like swamp rock, but it's funky, it's kind of southern rocky, but they're not from the South. There's lots of great jammy rhythms and things, and a lot of good slide guitar from Lowell. And yeah, I mean, you could totally. I mean, if you listen to Waiting for Columbus, which is the live album, yeah,
Right.
I mean there's some really extended improvs and things like that on that. So I would definitely lump them in with the kind of the jam band scene even though, like I said, they are a little funkier and maybe tighter than some of the sprawling jam bands. But yeah, it definitely fits here for sure.
Okay, and then you just did a show on Greg Roll a couple days ago,
Yep.
and Journey. Now you kind of covered a lot of uh, that jam band period of Journey. I mean, Neil Schon himself, I know him personally. He considered this a jam band. This Journey, this first before they got Steve Perry in there.
Yep. Yep. I would
And
agree.
what was the song? Kotoka, and then Look into the
Talcum,
Future, and then
Kahoutek.
Next.
Yeah, Kahoutek.
Yeah, that to me is, I saw them do that before when they had, before they had Steve, and then I saw the next tour when Steve joined a couple of them. So, but I consider them a jam band of that era. I know that you got the albums, right, Eric?
Yes, I don't have them. I didn't pull them, but and again, like you said, coming out of the Santana band and doing that, I would definitely agree that they had that jam band quality early on.
And then even when you saw them with Steve Perry and the other drummer, Steve Smith, they would do a fusion set in the middle of their set, like a 15-minute, instrumental thing.
Yeah, I mean they were amazing musicians. They could play this.
Then when Jonathan Cain got in, it just was all pop and rock.
It became a little more song based, yeah. And
Okay, so here's the
to
next
just
one.
real quick to touch on the Jeff Beck thing.
Oh,
Even like right before Jeff went and did Blow by Blow and he did the Beck Bogart and the Peace album and tour, that
uh-huh.
was total jam band stuff. I mean, that's all they did was jam because they didn't have a lot of material. So they just went on every night and played like 2 hours and lengthy improvisations and jamming. So I mean, I think Beck was used to doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, I actually saw the Rough and Ready. I saw the Beck Bogart and Peace. I saw the Orange
Wow,
album
very cool.
Nice.
tour, and then I saw him later on down the road. But yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the vocals weren't that good.
No, they needed a lead singer. I mean, I think that was the intent, but it just didn't work out
I
that
saw
way.
him with Cozy Powell, though. That was cool earlier. Okay, so here's Utopia. So I'm a huge Todd Rundgren fan, and these two albums are super jammy albums. And he's got some really long songs on here, like the song Utopia is 14 minutes and 31
Oh yeah,
seconds. And then the icon
the
is 30
icon.
minutes and 32 seconds, 23 seconds. So have you ever heard these records, you guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this
Love it.
is to me, he's now, and this is sort of where we're going to go on our next show because we're going to cross into fusion. He's taking rock and turning it into fusion. I always thought this was kind of a prog situation,
Agree.
but it
And
was more jammy than prog. You know what I mean?
it's just funny
Yeah,
how he kind of reversed, right? Because he came out, I mean, I know he had a couple things before, but you got Something Anything, which is like the pop masterpiece.
Hmm.
And then you go to Utopia, so where he's kind of going off completely different direction. But I think his stuff too always had that song base. There was always melody to his music, even though you have these long extended tunes and jams. I think Todd always had that melodic foundation to
Oh
his.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he had like all kinds of Moog synthesizers and stuff when they were like all run with tubes and not solid state. Pretty
yeah.
crazy. Like
This is
that
a
band.
very, very talented band of
Yeah,
players. Even like the later stuff when they had kind of the solidified lineup with, Roger Powell and company, I think, and they wrote more kind of like compact stuff and started getting to like new wave and pop. Great players though, Cassim Sultan, all those guys. I mean, just really, really amazing players. And yeah, I think there were two Moog players on that first album, if I remember
yes.
correctly. So
Yeah.
Moogie,
Yep.
Moogie Klingman, and I don't think Roger Powell was on the first album. I think he joined for the Another Live. But yeah,
Right.
it's great, great stuff there. I love Utopia.
Yeah, I saw that Raw tour, and then I saw all the Road to
Oh,
Utopia
Ra is
stuff,
great. Yeah,
all
that's
that. All right, so let's get to the next page here. And these are going to be, okay, jammers. That these guys are jammers, but they're not in jam bands. Okay, so I'm just going to
Oh, I see a
rattle.
lot of Pete favorites here. So
All right,
I'm going to
so
rattle
can I,
them
let me see
off
if I can
right
name
now.
the, let me
Okay.
see if I can name these all here. So
right.
all right, so going across the top, it looks like
Okay.
Terry Kath.
Correct.
We have Steve Marriott,
Yep.
Correct.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, Frank
Correct.
Marino, Robin Trower, Ronnie Montrose, Rory Gallagher, Johnny
Steve
Winter.
Morse.
Is that Steve Morse? Yeah, it's Steve
Yep. Steve
Morse.
Morris.
Andy Powell and Tommy Bolin. Am I correct
You
on
got
that?
them all.
Okay, cool.
I didn't have to read it.
All amazing
Is
players.
is that an
Yeah.
SG for that Terry Kath is playing? I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's an
always
SG.
I
That when
always
I
see
saw
him
him
with
in
a
Como.
Telecaster in my head for some reason.
It looks like an SG custom, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah, the
But I'm
first
amazed
show.
that I've never seen Johnny Winter play in Flying V to my knowledge. It almost threw me off. I was going to say, is that Michael Schenker? But I was like, no.
That's Johnny Winter. That Johnny Winter and tour, that live album. That's what I saw. I saw that tour, and then I saw Terry Kath play the first Chicago Transit Authority
Ooh,
album, Fillmore,
that's amazing.
and he even did that feedback section that's in it. That really crazy.
I
But
would have loved to have seen him live.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I
Wonderful to
saw
see.
Humble Pie too, and I think they were truly a jam band.
I would
And
agree with that. Yeah, I
and
would
then
agree.
I would say Rory Gallagher is a jam band
Oh, for
also.
sure. Yeah,
And
100%.
then I saw Wishbone Ash with Johnny Winter, amazingly enough.
Wow.
But they were kind of a dual guitar band. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we got the three Hendrix clones up there in the middle. And of course, Frank is just incredible.
Ah, yeah.
Frank Marino.
Frank is
So,
probably like the ultimate like jam guitar player. when you really think about it.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
they're not jam bands like the Grateful Dead or the Allman
no,
Brothers.
not at all. But man, that guy can he
He
can
can
jam.
rip.
Okay, so instead of picking my favorite albums that we went over, I'm going to pick three other albums that you should get, okay? And here they are. So they all came out later, much later releases.
Yep.
But okay, The Doors in concert or this live in New York one,
Mhm.
okay? And when you listen to that record, it's got this uh, let's see, it's called Celebration of Lizard, 16 minutes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's just, he's got the audience going and he's doing poetry and then he goes, Not to Touch the Earth, that song. And it's just incredible. You really get a taste of what Jim could do and how he could control an audience and control a show. It's pretty amazing.
Yep. I agree.
And then next, The Rainbow in
Oh,
Germany. It's a double CD, and I know you talked about this before, Pete, but this thing is, I mean, it's at least half the thing is Richie just playing guitar.
yeah.
It's
That really is the ultimate Rainbow Live album, as opposed to the on stage album, which is missing Stargazer, right? I mean, you have to have the full set, and the on stage is great for what it is, but it's a little bit too many solos and things. Where I think that the Live in Germany is a better snapshot of that tour as a whole.
I just think it's a representation of him at his best jamming,
Yeah.
Richie.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then we got this Led Zeppelin, which came out in 72 while the West
Killer.
was one, and that to me is better than the other live album.
Oh, 100%.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're want to get some cool jam albums of rock guys from the 70s, these are the three to get live.
Great picks. Yep.
Yeah, they're really good picks. Okay, so I'm gonna get to my last page here. And we got the
Ah,
Grateful Dead, Blues for Allah, and then one from the vault, or yeah, one from the vault. And this is a period when they came back. They had a break for about a year, and they came back. And I've been listening to these records, and they are like a fusion jam band on this stuff, man. It's just incredible. Now, I think that they carried, I got written up here, jam band history, 75 to 89. They really carried the tradition of a jam band playing like multiple nights, sold out 3 hour shows, and the Deadheads kept coming back for the next 15 years. Where other bands went into different sounds and different, the music changed, but the Dead stayed the same and kept jamming.
Eric, have you ever heard Blues for Allah? It's a
I
wonderful.
have.
Oh,
I was telling Chris how I'm trying to get more like Terrapin Station, that era, Blues for Allah. So the Dead had really never connected with me. So now I'm going back and revisiting things, trying to get some live stuff, um, you know, feed it a little bit more. But I definitely need to get more familiar with this stuff.
Well, this
yeah, I can.
American Music Hall is really good. This black and white one here.
Yeah.
They play the whole Blues for All album on it, and it's just wicked, man. Garcia's just on fire. But then, that show you just did last Jam Band show, was it called Jam America
That was yeah, I had
with Pete?
with
He's
Peter.
mentioning 69 Dead, and that is the progressive Grateful Dead at
Yeah.
their most progressive, interesting sound. And I'm with him. 69 Dead is what you want to listen to. But, all through the Dead in the early 70s and then from 75 to like 78, that's their best period as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, now I don't know how I'm going to go back out of here. Okay. I think I'm done with this. Okay.
Okay.
With the
So
slideshow.
you brought in a lot of not a lot, but you brought in some bands, Chris, that I like. I mean, I always thought about Zeppelin in a certain way. Um, and I don't know that I knew they had those long songs here and there. I guess I never had thought about Zeppelin as a jam band. And then the more we've talked, you and I have had some back and forth. Obviously, that How the West Was Won really is much more uh, is a much better live record than Song Remains the Same or something, along those lines. But
Now,
I
what do
don't
you
think a lot of people thought or would have thought about Zeppelin as a jam band. But I would agree that they have a period of that early stuff that they really stretched things out and went for it. So
Oh yeah, if you listen, if you look at Setlist FM and you study their early sets, like that poster I showed, 69,
Yep.
they're doing Train Keep a Rollin' into you know, into like all kinds of they're just doing three songs in one that are just jamming out.
Right.
Medleys, yeah.
And Page has just got he's doing like Fresh Garbage one of those nights from Spirit, stuff like that. Now, what are you seeing on your end there, Eric?
Still seeing your desktop, so I
Yeah, it's
think,
just like your desktop.
Oh, you're seeing my desktop?
Yep.
yep.
I'm trying to get rid of it. Okay, how do I get rid of this? Um, sign out. I don't want to do
I think you
that.
got to go back to the share button at the bottom and just click that, and that should
Oh, there
hopefully.
it is. Okay, let me hit that share. Okay, now what do you guys got?
Same.
Huh. Yeah, it's tough. All right. Let me try to turn off the slideshow, maybe. There
So
we
like
go.
Pete with like bands like
Now
Utopia.
I see you guys three on the screen. Sorry to cut you off, but
That's all right.
I guess we're just gonna. What do you see? The yellow screen behind?
Yeah,
It's
still
still
seeing.
your screen,
Okay.
saver or
Let
whatever.
me, let me wait. Yeah. Now I just got Zoom. Okay. Yeah, it's tough. I'm having a hard time here, guys. Sorry.
That's
Nope, that's
okay.
okay.
All right.
But Pete, to kind of wrap that up, I mean, having gone through the guitar quiz was fun, but like as we're talking about this stuff, are these necessarily bands? Some of those bands, would they have connected with you as a jam band?
No, but there's elements, I
Yes.
mean, that's the thing. I mean, ultimately I saw, obviously you could say like, I mean, Johnny Winter did a lot of jamming in his live shows. Frank Marino, I agree 100%. Trower early on for sure. I think, he still jams quite a bit in his shows, but the stuff is a little tighter.
Yep.
But there's elements of all those guys that you can make the case for, that they're part of that whole scene, or at least I mean, we're talking about the 70s, right? It was
Absolutely.
different back then. Now you go see most of these bands and they play songs exactly how they are on the record. There's limited solos. There's not a lot of in-between song banter. Back then, it's like, well, let's take like a 4 minute long track and let's stretch it to 12, and we're going to have multiple guitar solos and drum solos and all that sort of thing. And it was a different mentality back then. That's what people wanted to see.
Right.
Not so much anymore. So you really could say a lot of those 70s bands from the rock scene or the fusion scene or the prog scene had their jammy moments. I mean, for sure.
Agreed. And
Right. And I think what happened was bands like Mahavishna and Return Forever and those type of groups came out of it saying, oh, well, we're great players. We can do like complete instrumental records and they'll sell and oh, they'll go to our concerts and watch us do this for an hour and a half or two.
Yeah.
So it opened up a whole door. And I sort of became a jazz snob at that point, and I kind of got away from like Sabbath and the Who, but then in like 77, I said, wait a minute, I kind of like that rock music, and I went back to, I kept going to concerts and changed my tune a little bit. But for a while there, I was like, you know, I was an elitist.
I mean, listen to a lot of those Miles Davis records from like 1969 to 74. There's just tons of jamming on
yeah,
those.
Right.
Agartha, and you listen to Dark Magus and Jack Johnson and all that. It's just all jamming, funky
Oh,
absolutely.
jam.
absolutely.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely. We have so the next show I want to do is going to be featuring that music that happened, the fusion that came out of this rock stuff. So, in the albums that we all bought and listened to back then, which is the
Cool.
classics,
That'll be
really,
fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of them too.
Bitches Brew and all that. So,
Tony Williams' Lifetime Emergency. I mean, that's
Right.
that's total jamming. That's so
yeah,
different than the latter stuff with Tony Williams and like Alan Holdsworth. It's
Right.
raw and
Even the
uncompromising.
soft machine stuff, I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Holdsworth just they all do, but I mean there's a lot of soloing in that just kind of goes, off in the left field or whatever. So it
yeah,
all
yeah,
works.
yeah, for sure.
So well, Chris, I like the lead in. We're in our wheelhouse here in the 70s, so that's been
yeah.
great. And Pete, I want to thank you, and obviously you're welcome to join us anytime. I know this is your wheelhouse as well, so maybe we can get Pete back for the fusion stuff.
Cool.
Any final words from either one of you on what we talked about tonight? All right.
I just want to say, talk about the stuff that happened 50 years. I'm still doing it today. I'm still going on the road and doing these light shows with these bands that are jamming like crazy. So, Pete was at the show the other night, a couple weeks ago. So, I just want to mention that I'm still in the game.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
mean, there's still plenty of bands out there doing this. I mean, that's a
Absolutely.
good thing. So if you like this sort of music, it's not hard to find bands who are out there playing, extended improvs
Yeah.
and just soloing and just having a blast, just playing music and not worrying about playing like the same, 12 songs every night, exactly how you heard
And
them.
that's a selling point with a lot of these bands too, Pete. They go out, and that's their whole thing. We won't do the same show. So,
Yeah, different set list every night, and
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
time limit. It says
Well, I
three.
want to thank everyone for watching. Chris, welcome back. And like he said, we'll be back in August for the next segment, and we'll be shooting into Fusion. Maybe we can even get Mr. Lemie to join us. We'll
Yeah,
find
that's
out.
what I'm hoping for.
So I will
And
talk to him. I'll
and then you
chat.
guys, I'm want to invite you guys to the revival coming up in November and December on the East
Awesome.
Coast. So at the
That'd be
Beacon
great. Love to
or
do it.
at the Capitol or out in Long Island, that place out in Paramount, I think. We're
Paramount, yeah.
playing all those places. So and also Connecticut. We're doing another show in Connecticut. So
Okay,
there's
cool.
going to be a
Awesome.
bunch of shows in your area that you guys should come to and hang
Yeah,
out.
keep us posted for
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sure.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
So thanks, everyone. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. So I try to remember that one.
There
So
you go. You
Okay.
probably remember more than I do, but yeah.
Hey, I did all the damn time with you. Okay, I'm in Hawaii, right? I did it with you. And
nice,
when on the show, it's completely out of sync. And I was directly on sync with you last time.
nice.
So
Well,
it's
we'll
pretty
we'll get
funny.
it, Chris. It's only our fifth.
No, I was on sync with you. We did it together, but the recording was separate
That's funny.
because I'm so far away, I think. You know,
Yeah, that could be.
yeah.
So and remember to subscribe, hit the like button so that you get notified of all the content. Check out the links below. See a Tranquility merch, a little cameo from Pete, Ko-Fi, any merch that you want. See a Tranquility. I should have worn my shirt tonight. And that's it. So thanks for watching Let's Jam. Pete, thanks for joining us. Hope we have you back soon. Chris, welcome back and look forward to the next edition. So let's jam.
Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
sounds great. Thanks for showing up, Pete.
Have a
You
good
bet.
one.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
See you guys.